All right, guys, this is it. It is the start of the biggest movie of the summer and the start of summer movie series. Period.
Summer movie season 2016 begins. Today we are going to see Captain America: Civil War.
And we already know, and everybody is already guessing how it ends. And I say it ends with Lincoln getting assassinated at the Ford's Theater.
But in all seriousness, this movie is... We have been actually very good about spoilers this time around. I mean, usually we'll say, oh, we didn't get any spoilers, but we'll have peeked at one minor thing.
Well, we do know one minor thing, but that was unavoidable. We work at... when you work at a store that sells Civil War toys, and the Lego set spoils it.
If you don't know what it is, we're not going to tell you because we don't want to spoil it for you.
But yeah, we know one detail, but otherwise we're really not knowing. The advertisements, we really don't know what's going on.
We don't know, and we have been very good about staying away from internet spoilers, which has been very weak recently because we don't even get that long strain of like 2 weeks in advance. People are saying, here are some spoilers from Captain America: Civil War. Here you go.
But we're very excited for this movie. More excited than we were for Batman v Superman. Sorry, DC people, but that's just a fact. Marvel had 12 movies to build up their awesome team up movie of two heroes fighting each other. We only had Man of Steel with DC.
So anyway, guys, I guess that's all we really need to do to sum up the movie. See you after the jump.
Yep, see you. All right, guys.
So we're out, and oh my God. That was horrible!
I know, it sucked!
I mean, just when you thought that Transformers 4 was going to be the worst movie we did on this show.
I know! It was so much worse than Batman v Superman.
I never want to hear anyone talk shit about that movie ever again because this one was just so bad.
I know, it sucked! Why did Marvel have to suck on this one?
Okay, I think they've pretty much figured it out by now. It was awesome!
It was the best thing that they could have ever done. It was great. Everything about it was great. There were a couple of flaws that I can't think of right now, but I know there will probably be flaws when I watch it again. Otherwise, it was a damn good time.
I loved this movie. I loved it. The only flaw I can think of is it needed more Martin Freeman.
It does need more Martin Freeman.
But this is a great movie, and I think we really need to get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it. Let's start with the webhead in the room. Spidey.
Spider-Man is here. He exists in the Marvel Universe now. We've been waiting for this for 8 years, ever since the Marvel Universe became a thing.
And this is the best depiction of Spider-Man that was ever put to film.
I'm so sorry, Andrew Garfield. I loved you as Spider-Man. When I heard that Spider-Man was going to be part of the Avengers, damn.
Road's closed in just a second, guys.
When I heard that Spider-Man was going to be part of the Avengers, I knew it was going to be part of the universe. I knew that I wanted it to be Andrew Garfield. I'm going to be 100% honest. I heard it and I'm like, yay, Andrew Garfield's gonna be in the universe. But then I heard reboot, and I'm like, oh. But this is great. I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. He's awesome. He is witty, and
he knows how to get Peter Parker and Spider-Man. That's the ultimate mix. We have never had the mix of Peter and Spider-Man exactly right. But they got Peter Parker as the nerd, and then you got Spider-Man as the quippy jackass. It all works out. It came into the perfect Spider-Man we have ever seen. You're gonna have to go up to the next. You're gonna have to go up to the next one. Okay, but next we should probably talk about another big power play that just we got joined up now with Black Panther.
Chadwick Boseman, he blew it out of the park.
He did great. I'm super excited for his movie. I know that we're gonna have a great movie because there's so much already developed. We don't need an origin story now because we got that with this movie.
Well, we've gone a little too long, and we've gone a little too long into this without talking about the actual two stars of the movie, Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark and and Chris Evans as Steve Rogers. But I think the reason we went so long is because what else is there to be said?
They have played these characters. This universe has been going on for 8 long years. If those two idiots can't pull off this job, there's no point in them continuing on as their characters. But they nailed it as always.
And the Russo brothers directing. 2 comedy directors have directed 2 political thriller movies.
And now they're going to direct the Avengers. They're going to direct the next 2 Avengers movies. And that is going to be amazing to see.
They did it. I can't believe it just makes me think. I can't believe there aren't more directing duos in the Marvel Universe, because I feel like these are the kinds of movies that could really allow 2 directors to actually work off each other well enough. So, I don't know. I'm not in charge of that. I can't think of any directing duos off the top of my head that I'd like to see hugely explode onto the scene with a Marvel movie, but you know what? Do whatever you may.
Us. Give us a Marvel movie. Just do it. Give us a Marvel movie. We'll direct a Marvel movie. It doesn't matter. You can make us direct Howard the fucking Duck. We'll direct it. We will do it. Just give us a chance, Marvel.
And okay, let's rattle off the names that we've got on here. We got Marissa Tomei is in this.
And she is Aunt May, and I like this new approach.
Yeah,
I really do. I like a younger Aunt May.
We got Paul Bettany as the Vision and Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch.
They got great stuff going on there. Soon we'll be seeing some stuff building up to it.
We got Scarlett Johansson and Jeremy Renner back. They're in it.
We got
Paul Rudd. Okay, you look at the trailers. You see that this is going to be an epic war movie. You see that this is going to be an epic movie with a bunch of really great fight scenes, and then you remember, oh yeah, Paul Rudd's in this.
But you know,
while that's a weird thing to think, it does not distract from the movie, because Paul Rudd has earned his stripes as a superhero.
Every time Paul Rudd was on screen, I smiled, and I loved that. That's just a nice little thing to take a break from all this action. Was that Paul Rudd came up on screen, and I just cracked a smile the second he showed up.
And let's just talk about the fact that, and while we're on the subject of Paul Rudd, who is a comedian, segue, Paul Rudd, the comedy in this movie, I'm going to be honest, there's little laughs here and there, but the comedy doesn't really kick off until the actual Civil War part of the movie.
And most of the comedy comes from Spider-Man.
Well, but why not write all the comedy for the guy who is famous for making fun of his enemies while he beats the crap out of them?
So, but the comedy portion does not distract. It's actually very different from from DC, where we just had like a couple of comedy elements thrown in just to make it, just to try to make it similar to Marvel, but at the same time try to make it its own. But the tension, but there's tension. But just because there's comedy doesn't mean there wasn't tension in this movie. Because there's a scene where there's so much tension. Spencer and I were just gasping and sitting on the edge of our seats at the end of this airport scene, because it was so heart-wrenching, and I was so did not know what was going to happen.
I honestly thought I was going to end up crying by the end of it, but nope, didn't even tear up a little. But still, it's an incredible scene, and it is emotional torture, like everyone said it was going to be throughout the promotion of this thing, and the news and the rumors and everything.
This is great. This movie is just like the most fantastic thing I could have ever imagined for this, and for those who don't know, the Civil War storyline is not exactly the best thing for most in the eyes of some comic fans, but they did this justice, and obviously a couple scenes are even pulled straight out of the comics.
Yeah, there's even this isn't really much of a spoiler, but there is one scene, well, there's one shot that is a complete recreation of the cover of Civil War.
Yes.
Which is awesome. So I hope people like that. And honestly, I think this is going to be remembered better than Civil War. It's going to be because in the Civil War comics, Cap was acting almost completely out of character, and Mark Miller, who is a great writer in some respects, in other respects he kind of is a little iffy. But honestly, he really didn't know. He didn't really write it in a way that kind of told how the story did. I assume that's some sort of editorial mandate that kind of caused certain writing errors, but also that comic led into something that will not be mentioned in upcoming Spider-Man films, because we got a new Spider-Man film coming, and I'm more pumped than I have ever been about it, and it is not at all one more day or anything like that. So, but we digress. This is gonna be. But seriously, if you don't plan on going to see this movie, change your plans.
This is great. DC fanboys are gonna be pissed because Batman v Superman just got blown out of the fucking water.
And we're not even the guy. We are. And if you have been watching our videos lately, you'll know that we're not the guys that we are not just sitting here that we were two guys who actually kind of liked Batman v Superman.
But it got blown out of the fucking water because Batman v Superman ain't Civil War, and that's all that you really have to say about it.
So anyway, you got anything to say?
I got nothing left to say. I've said my piece.
All right. Well then, I guess we just gotta say, like, favorite, subscribe. What did you think of Captain America: Civil War? Leave it down in the comments below.
No spoilers, or you're a Nazi. Brought that back for this one because the other time.
Yep. So anyway, just later.
Later.